Welcome to For Love and Play. I'm matchmaker comic Yael Meisels. With me is comedians Keenan Weaver and Louie B. For Love and Play, the show about dating like a goddamn adult. We're going to discuss who to spend your time with for love or for play. Let's do it, boys.
This show contains adult content for entertainment purposes. Listener discretion is advised.
Not a doctor.
Thank you for listening in. This is For Love and Play. I'm your host, Keenan Weaver, back with my favorite people, the Queen, Yael. What's going on, girl?
What's good, my dear? How are you guys?
I'm doing lovely.
Shalom.
And the Baron, the Duke, the King B?
Yes, I absolve all the listeners of their sins, and Baruch Atah Hashem for all my Jews out there.
All right. That made a weird turn. Today, we got a fun topic for you guys. We're going to be talking about old flames. Louis, tell the people how they could join in on the conversation.
Well, it's kind of funny you mentioned that because we did get a message, but if you guys want in, you guys can email us at forloveandplay@gmail.com or reach out to us on our Facebook at facebook.com/4loveandplay or on the Twitters at, the 4 Love and Play. So, Keenan, like I said in the top, we got this letter, this email from a Jason from upstate New York. He had a problem. So let me get into this.
All right, what did the message say?
Okay. So when he writes, okay, so when I was in high school in the Bronx, I met a girl named Tammy. Oops, sorry, nowhere near done. And we dated for 4 years throughout high school, on and off. We were both virgins, and, well, she was 16, I was 19. And to top it off, her parents despise me. She's German and Italian, and I'm a black man dating your precious daughter. LOL. So prom night rolls around, I'm no longer in high school, and her parents said if you go with Jason, no prom for you. So I met her at Pelham Bay Station, and we got a hotel in Midtown. Sex never happened. I went through a box of condoms, and with all the walking to Rite Aid 3 in the morning, she was tired. LOL. When I look back, I see how I did it all wrong. Sometime later, she dumped me over dinner that I paid for. She started hanging out with this kid, then bam, she's having sex. Years have gone by, and now I live in upstate New York for the past 9 years, and when I go home to the Bronx, I don't always get to see her. But 2 weeks ago, I went home for Joey's daughter's communion, and the party as well. Oh my goodness, was very close to her house. So I told her to get over and have a beer. Have a beer and let
Someone sucks at reading out loud.
No. Someone sucks at typing a message.
His email was very difficult to understand I read it myself.
This syntax is really fucking up my my OCD brain. Like this is really fucking up my OCD like horribly. Jason, I love you, bro. Thank you for listening, but fuck.
The gist of it was basically...
No, you got this. Let him finish.
I got this.
Okay.
I got this. I told her to get over here and have a beer and let me bust out some karaoke for her. What's also funny, when her mom dropped her off, Tammy was driving, and I was excited to see her mom and Tammy. Her mom jumps out with a baseball bat, aka the nigga beat, and he wrote that, not me.
He wrote that.
Yeah.
God forbid we would never continue.
I don't need anyone rushing up on stage and punching me in the face.
Using the N-word with essentially two hosts that are not
allowed to use that word.
Other minorities.
Stop letting Spanish people use it, and don't let anyone else use it. Stop it.
Special for black
people.
No
passes out. That's my rule.
Oh, and by the way, Jason is black.
Lord.
All right.
Yeah. That was a horrible.
All right. And asked if I remember this. Yes, I do.
How in the hell would he forget?
Yeah. Yes. I do.
Because he could have been me and forgot everything. Yeah. No, I don't even know, like...
Yeah, I don't know Bats.
My first kiss, like, I don't know her name.
Yeah.
I know the gist of her name.
I know the gist. I know the whole...
It started with, like, an L.
Yeah.
I think it's Lucia. She's like my first girlfriend.
Yeah.
We had like a summer fling because we worked at camp together. It was dope. But I think it's Lucia. Like, I honestly just know it starts with an L-U.
Yeah.
That's all I really
Okay,
know.
back to the leather. Yes, I do. You chased me off the property and down the street, blah, blah, blah. So now me and Tammy are at the bar just chilling while the party was going on in the other room. Our dynamic has not changed. It's like I never left. Then she tells me she has a box full of stuff she saved from when when we dated. I was like, really? Come to find out, we went out to dinner later, and for the first time, her parents invited me in the house. So now I'm sitting between her parents, and we are looking at all my videos from work, which I suggest watching. Then she brings out the box. Not the box I wanted, LOL. Oh, a pussy joke. This is a motherfucking time capsule that I have never seen a fat-ass stack of leathers and other amazing shit. I wanted or wasn't to go through it. Fucking Jason. I wanted to go through it all, but not with her parents there. I said, let's not do this. Come to Geneva, let's crack a bottle of wine and do this together. She said, yes. So, my grand plan was to redo prom night, but I wasn't going to tell her that right away, so I told her my couch isn't very comfy, so we can share my queen-size bed. You just stay on your side. She said, hell no, better get me a blow-up mattress. Oops, did I shoot myself in the foot? Okay. Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay, look. Anybody else, if you're going to send a message, please proofread, because I mean, really, I'm about to, like, I'm getting like really like fucking violent right now. I just want to go out and like punch someone in the face because this syntax is really just all right. I could do that, but there is an event called Cruising Night in Geneva, full of cars, live music, and public drinking. It's gonna be a fun 4 days. Ha 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 ha. My question is there a way to make this go down? We have never had sex, and I really wanna. Just see what's it like 15 years later. Like, you don't know. Okay. Cause in my mind, I'm like, come to Geneva, have a killer weekend, and a little sex. L-I-L, sex. I mean, why not? I think there is something still there. You guys rock. Please, need your input.
Okay.
So we called young Jason, and this is how it went.
All right, so I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. So every now and then I go home to the Bronx, and I have a friend named Tammy who I went to high school with. We dated for 4 years. We were both virgins at the time, and we were tight. Like, you could not separate us. And we ended up breaking up because she ended up meeting a boy. He was a guitarist, whatever. He had some talent. And she kind of lost her virginity to him. And now Tammy has a sex life. And now me, I'm in the wind, and I miss her. And we were still friends, but not as tight. And years go on, I end up moving to upstate New York. And every now and then I come home, but I don't get to see Tammy as much because she works. And me, I've only got 3 days to spend, so I got to see Tom, Dick, and Harry in 3 days. So the last time I went home, which was a couple of weeks ago, I was at a christening party by her house in the Bronx. And I was like, yo, I need to see you. Get your ass down here. Come do some karaoke with me. She's like, oh, my God, Jason, I got time. I'd love to. So, boom. She comes down. Her mother drops her off. Now, her mother never liked me. And her mother couldn't stand me. So this is the first time I saw her mother in years. She dropped her off, pulled out the baseball bat, pulled out the, am I allowed to say nigga be good stick? Well, I just did, sorry. Pulled out the stick, was like, you remember this, Jason? And just brought back a ton of memories. Yes. Just,
like
yeah,
recently?
recently?
Yeah.
so recently, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, when I went home, she dropped her daughter off, and she was like, "You remember this, Jason?" I'm like, "Holy shit, yeah! You totally chased me down the street with that because I tried to kiss your daughter on the porch. I was flying to the bus stop, and she gave me a hug. You know, all the beef was squashed, but she just had to bring it out. I was like, "Yeah, I can't believe you still have that."
I can't either. What a nut!
Yeah,
well, look, you don't
totally
get
enough.
You don't get rid of a good bat. I mean, speaking as a Puerto Rican that's all about the baseball equipment, I still have my bat from Little League, and that I call it the palo of justice. I don't call it the N-word cool stick.
Yeah, but to the best of my knowledge, the Apollo of Justice or whatever the shit has never hurt anybody.
Palo of justice.
Okay, the Apollo of Justice has never been unleashed to the best of my knowledge. To our listeners.
Well, I won't tell you the stories, but yeah, that bat has seen some. Never mind.
Anyway,
moving on.
Yeah. Anyway, so we were chit-chatting for a little bit. I was like, "Listen, I'm gonna hang out with your daughter for a little bit. I'll make sure she gets home safe." So we go in, bop around. We're sitting at the bar. Our dynamic hasn't changed. We're still the same weird Tammy and Jason that we were when we were kids. And she's 29 now. I'm 34, and it's just like we were talking, and all of the friends that we went to high school with, she ain't friends with them no more. And she was like, "Jason, me and you, I think we'll always be friends." And it's just like I'm sitting there like, "Wow, I think I still love you." And it's just like she's dated a couple of guys since then. We never get to see each other. So we went to go hang out later.
Basically saw her.
Maybe last year when I went home, I think I rode the Manhattan Express home with her from Manhattan to the Bronx. And then before that, I didn't get to see her. So it's very rare. But we stay in touch. We Facebook each other. We're definitely still friends. She knows what's going on in my life. I know what's going on in hers for the most part. But we're still tight as hell, apparently. And it's like nothing changes, no awkwardness. There's no gaps in conversation. We have so much to get into. So later, I went to her house, actually walked in her house. Her mother invited me in. And Tammy has a thing for saving shit. So I was actually sitting between her mother and father, which is very weird, and we were looking at all the cool, I park cars at Geneva on the Lake. I'm the best bellman in the world over there. And we were just watching all the really hilarious videos that I make, and it was the weirdest bonding moment ever. And then she says, "Jason, I have the box upstairs of stuff that I saved." I'm like, "What? Go get that." So she goes up and gets the box. This box, light layer of dust. She opens it up. It's like a box of memories, a stack of letters, a little kitty cat, stuffed kitty cat, I like cats, and just a whole bunch of cool stuff. And I was like overwhelmed with emotion. And I'm like, "Oh my God, Tammy, I can't believe you saved this." And we started to go through the box. Wait, are you trying to say something, Louis?
No, I'm listening to you.
Okay.
I'm just, honestly, let me pull the veil a little bit. I am sort of cyber stalking Tammy right now. I found her Badoo page.
Okay.
And your story sounds so much similar than mine that I had to deal with 2 years ago, Yao?
Okay.
So
yeah, we'll definitely get back into that, Louis. Let him finish. Yeah. And so what's the question, Jason?
Okay, so the box. I'm like, "Tammy, I want to go through this box. I really do. But I don't want to go through it in front of your parents. How about this? Let's crack a bottle of wine. Come upstate to Geneva. I got a car show in July. Just come upstate. We can go through this box together." She's like, "Oh my God, that's a great idea." I'm like, "Yeah, that is a great idea." So I'm excited. Tammy's coming to Geneva. She's getting the fuck out of the city. So I end up, thinking that it's safe to say, "Hey, Tammy, we're gonna share my bed. You stay on your side, I'll stay on mine. Take it as cool." She's like, "No, fuck no, Jason. You get me an air mattress. The fuck do you think this is?" I'm like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, I could do that." In my mind, that's totally cool. I don't really care as long as she's in the house. But I wanna redo prom night. Goes, yeah, we went to prom, and her mom said, "If you go to prom with Jason, you ain't getting shit." So I had to meet her on the train at 12:30 at night, looking all sexy, and prom night was just a big fucking no-no. I don't know what the fuck. I didn't know what to do. I was nervous and scared. Man, I can't even think of a funny analogy right now, and that's not even like it. So my plan was to have her come up here, and we were going to redo prom on some sexy adult type shit. And
is
that's
she
kind of my
down for
plan.
that? Do you have confirmation
I
that she wants
I haven't mentioned
to?
it.
You better make sure. Okay, let me.
What's the question? I still don't. Before you get into it, what is your question though, Jason?
The question is, how do I maybe turn this around? I mean, so I want to say that she still has maybe some feelings for me. Like, I'm older now. Like, I was still looking like a 70s porn star when I was a kid. Now I'm all grown and handsome. And it's just like, I want you. I want this to happen. If it doesn't, I'll be okay, but I want it to happen.
Okay, let me recap and try to grab two distinctions before we jump into this.
Okay.
So the first thing is, you guys were kind of like high school sweethearts, right? You were boyfriend and girlfriend dating in high school. You're now, this is probably 10, 15 years later, 29, 34, right?
Yep.
And throughout high school and over the years, you two have never had sex. Is that the gist?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So now, is the question, you just want to have sex with her, or do you actually love her and want to figure out a way to make more of it?
I would like to make more of it. I don't think I could do a long-distance relationship, but I think I think I owe her that night that I fucked up. I mean, I'm not a very calm person.
That's the big difference. I mean, the night of redoing Prom, that sounds romantic, depending on what you're trying to actually rekindle.
That's what it's all about, romance.
If all you want is sex,
you're not offering romance. You're offering a romantic hookup situation, which is very sweet. Wouldn't excite me, but
okay.
It seems, I'm a realist. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass. It seems to me you need to drop this on the table to her, because you're also what you're doing with the story and the box and da-da-dee-da, and then your follow-up is, I don't want a long-distance relationship. Okay?
I honestly don't know if I could do it, but it sounds a little weird. Could it be done?
It doesn't. I'm going to tell you. You're talking to someone who's dated half of Europe. It takes money and dedication. Do you have readily available those two things?
If
the answer is no, then it's not.
Yeah,
I'm saying
it's honestly, it's figuring out.
He's asking an adult question. He needs an adult response. He's coming here for grown-up advice. I'm not going to tell this boy. He's 34 years old, for crying out loud.
You're right.
He's
so that's why I'm asking.
If he can afford it and he's looking to make it real, then pursue it. If you want a booty call, who the hell are you? Go on Tinder and get a prostitute. Next caller.
Oh my God!
Question.
that is really.
Honey, you're just too old for me to talk to you like you're a baby. This is just silly. I can't believe it.
I mean, if I could jump in. Look, Jason.
Please do.
Jason, I've been in a similar situation as you. In fact, I've spoke about this on the show. And look, from what it sounds like, she's playing game, and she has no intention. And
what? It's not.
I don't necessarily. I mean, finish your statement.
No, there's no game playing here. That's not correct.
Okay, all right. Let me rephrase that. She doesn't feel the same. Like, it's safe to say she does not feel the same way for you as you do for her.
Okay, let's pull back again. Let's pull back again. That's the main question.
Okay.
Before we can answer anything for you, Jason, to even have the discussion, it is 100% what do you want? Yeah. And that's why I asked that up front. You have to be honest with yourself. Do you want to just... There's a version of this where, okay, you had an opportunity of this girl that you liked. You never had sex. As a guy... the conquest is lost. I can understand that perspective. It's like, all right, I want to have sex with her because it never happened. But there's also, this is a girl that I've always loved. I still love. I want to pursue love. Those are two very different paths. And that's why I need that distinct answer from you of which path you are trying or that you're on. If you truly love this girl, then the long distance really is, that's a tactical problem. That's a tactical issue that, like Yael can say, is easily resolved with money, and time and the dedication to working on that particular thing. But the love is a whole different issue, and that's where Louis is talking about of, does she love you as much as you do? But I haven't gotten the gist that you love her. That's not what I've gotten. So
it sounds like you're trying to rekindle high school romance. It doesn't sound like love to me.
In an adult way, kind of, yeah. And I do love her, and I know we're going to get into that Jason Tammy moment, and it's just going to be like, I don't know,
Okay, but she's asked for an air mattress, right?
Yeah.
That's one move in any future reference that you should.
That's an indication I don't want to fuck you.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh.
But it's also so what I normally do if any time a girl is coming over to stay with me, I 100% always tell them, all right, you could have the bed, and I'm gonna go sleep on the couch. I never assume they'll be in the bed with you. One reason is one reason every dude does that. Every dude does that thirsty. I don't have an air mattress, or I don't have another place, so let's stay in this bed. It'll be completely platonic. Like, that's the number one trick. So if you've learned anything from listening to me is I tend to do everything opposite of what the majority does, and that strikes interest every time. Now, the other thing is you guys are both adults now. Mm-hmm. I can understand in high school this conversation might not have happened, but now, have you ever had in 15 years a conversation about sex with this girl?
Whew, oh my God, I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no.
Like, I'm going to break down...
We don't really have time to talk that much.
Basic terminology, and women ask me this question all the time. If they're going out of town, let's say, to meet somebody, like, similar to this situation, and a guy says something to the effect of, I don't have space for you, he's not interested. He is indifferent as to whether or not you come. It's like when someone wants to see you and that romantic spark is there, I'm saying, oh, haha, I have a big bed, and she's asking for an air mattress. That is her nice way, and from what I've seen, of telling you I'm not sexually interested.
Okay.
Because you opened the door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
You sent out the you have to, here's what, you have to go. You ever see that movie? I think it's 500 Days of Summer. The guy from Third Rock from the Sun is the star.
No, I haven't. Okay.
You need to see that movie. You need to see this movie because let me tell you, I didn't mean to jump at you earlier, but I didn't need to hear the whole story to like even execute the same point. It's not a joke. When I say I've dated half of Europe, I'm not kidding. I mean, in other shows, I waited with my bags in fucking Berlin for my boyfriend, who I hadn't seen in 6 months, to show up. There is your answer. The standing and the wait, there's your answer. He doesn't love you. You know what I mean? Not the way you need somebody to love you anyway. Mm-hmm. Like, when you open that channel, you have to be direct with her, because I feel like to go through all of this, it's going to drag out that romantic spark in you more. Maybe just tell her how you feel opening up. You know what? I thought about it. We have all this history together. You've saved this box. You know, how many other boxes have you saved? You know what I mean?
I don't think many. Yeah.
Right. You need to just take this bull by the horns, and you need to be direct, because you're not going to get what you want. Like in the movie 500 Days of Summer, it shows a split screen of how the ex-girlfriend invites him to a party. He thinks it's a romantic whatever. They're going to spend they're going to be in each other's arms at the end of the night. And then the reality happens. She's got a new boyfriend. She really did just invite him to a party. And at the end of the movie, they're sitting on a park bench, and people hate this because it happens all the fucking time in life, and it's so unfair. He's basically, I loved you and had all these feelings for you. I wish things had turned out differently. She's sitting there with a ring on her finger. I don't, because if I had never met you, I would never have met my husband. It's the worst feeling, and it happens all the time. Sometimes these feelings are there to show you what you might want to be with. It's not necessarily connected to this person. Your soulmate or other half, whatever, is going to remind you of these people, not necessarily be this person. You know what I'm saying? Because love is an evolution that's mirrored back. It's almost like you're standing in a mirror looking at yourself. See, you know what I'm saying? When you don't have that, I promise you, don't try to make it happen. Because when it's right, it's going to happen without even asking for it.
And there's a difference with trying to force it and come up with, like, quote-unquote different tactics. And that's why up front I wanted the actual I wanted your honest decision on that, because the love part of it could easily be that you two love each other but haven't had the ability to actually say that. That's possible, where hearts grow apart.
I disagree with that, Keenan.
Huh, Louis?
I disagree with that, Keenan, because the fact that the language she used, we've always been like when he said she's no longer friends with other people from high school, but she's still friends with him. I understand. I understand how you're feeling. Like, look,
I feel like longevity of old love, but she's not opening the door to a booty call. No, she may have deeper feelings for him.
I doubt
but I don't think she's just gonna.
There's a possibility of it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it doesn't sound like it here.
Yeah,
but there's always that possibility of two people that should be in love that somehow isn't. That happens all over the world.
That's I don't think that's
misconnections are.
Yeah, I really don't think that's what this is. I think, Jason, I think it's time to moveon.org.
Yeah, moveon.org.com.
I would drop the truth on her.
Yeah.
I would tell her the truth and let it ultimately be, because it's an investment of her time too. I cannot tell you.
Yeah, she's coming 500 miles away to hang out with me in a place she's never been.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, dude, if I traveled 500 miles to check in and hang out.
Something like...
Yeah, but either that or she could just be using him for a vacation.
I doubt it. To Geneva, New York?
I don't want her to regret this. She's going to have a great time, no matter what. I just don't want to put my foot in my mouth a day after she got here.
Yeah, but brother, you don't want to be wasting your time when you could be pursuing someone that's actually gonna be 100% in it with you as much as you are with her.
So you had said something actually, and Louis' statement right there leads into it. You had said she kind of recently. All right, so back in high school, after y'all broke up, she moved on with this guy. They had sex. And she's been with whatever X amount of dudes, whatever relationships. Yeah. She's been having relationships over this course of the 10 to 15 years. What have you been doing?
I've been dating a little bit too. I kind of just 2 months ago, I just broke up with this girl, my first single mother experience. And it's kind of weird because I still work with her. And I've been doing me. I DJ, I auto detail, I work 2 jobs, I work a lot. I really don't have time for girls, unfortunately, but I was going out with this girl for 8 months, and she's trying to, get married, buy a house, and I'm thinking the 4-year plan, she's thinking the 2-year plan. I was just no, she's a little controlling. I'm selfish. I don't have time for this, so I kind of broke up with her, and we work together still, and it's still a little weird, and I told her, listen, Tammy is coming up here, and I am bringing her to Geneva on the Lake. She's like, oh, you better not fucking do that. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, listen, you ain't my mom. You ain't even my girl no more. I'm bringing her here because this place is a 4-star resort, and it's amazing. And I want her to see how I roll. And I've been doing me, but that's a little tidbit of what's recently been happening.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, your ex-girlfriend shouldn't even be aware of your plan. I mean...
Right, but so what I get is you're kind of in touch with a lot of people from your past. Whatever pops up.
Yes, I am.
You use that to see. I can kind of figure that out. Yeah, I mean, I would say enjoy the weekend, but it's very simple for moving forward with Tammy. I see Louis' path, and it hit the way I see his point of moving on. It's It's over 10 years. But I also see Ayal's point, and I think the right answer might be right in the middle of those two, and it's to be direct with Tammy. Use that as the last resort, right? You finally say these feelings. You finally say whatever is honest. You say whatever is honest, but also in the back of your mind, you might need to know that, all right, this might be something that I just need to let go, because I sense. I sense both a missed opportunity conquest, and I sense that more than I do missed love.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's why you have to be open to pursuing something with this girl for real. I swear to God, it would kill me I would be so pissed off to have gone all, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
500 miles for a booty call, I'd be so pissed off.
Especially 500 miles to not talk about it. Like, don't do any corny, like, spring up an agenda with her that she's not aware of. You need to kind of like...
No, never.
100% plan this out. Like, I can give you 100% example, real life of kind of what I'm talking about. So, Memorial weekend, right? Damn it, I lost the text. I had it ready and now I lost all of it. Memorial weekend, I went out to the Hamptons, right? And Yael knows this because I actually asked her. She stays in Brooklyn, which is like a halfway point from where I am to the Hamptons, right? And I asked Yael if it's possible if I can crash at her crib when I come back, right? And Yael, being the great friend that she is, said, of course. And now my plan was set in motion. So
I love how this plan changes. It's so fucked up how this plan changes because we get the shortest end of all of these sticks. You are such an asshole. Go on, Keenan.
My intention was...
His intention was to sleep in my twin-infested 4-year-old house, but as the universe changed...
That was my intent. My intent was not to drive home tired and stop off, get some rest before I drive home. But the conversation with the girl that I was going out to the Hamptons with is what I'm saying, is how I'm telling you, you can have the conversation to know exactly what's going down, right? So when I invite this girl over, she too lives in Brooklyn. So I pick her up on the way, but the night before, I text her. I give her like all the information, like what the tire is gonna be for the weekend, where we're gonna be. See, the thing is always why you give them an agenda is not even just for sexual purposes, but women's comfortability is based in safety. That's just what it is. You make them feel safe, they will then open up more than when they feel awkward or uneasy or whatever it is. It's all about safety. So you give them the 100% agenda, you give them contacts, you give them the place, whatever it is to help, quote unquote, make them feel safe. So I'm giving her all these information via text, right? And then I tell her my plan to either stay at Yael's or my sister's in Queens. So again, I'm a person that always has backups for backups, right?
Okay. Cool.
So if anything goes wrong, I'm able to maneuver, and if anything goes right, I'm also able to maneuver. So this is why Yael got mad, because it went extremely right. But
it went so well for him. It's hilarious.
That's not the point. The point is, I had this conversation with her the night before, so she offers for me to stay with her. I tell her that I'm going to stay with. I tell her that I'm going to stay with my friend or my sister. If I get too tired, I'll see. It's all about how I feel when I'm leaving the place, right? She says, well, you can stay with me. And this, to give you just a backstory, this is a girl I haven't seen in 4 years. So this is similar to yours. It's a girl I haven't seen in 4 years. And we had just started talking like maybe March, right? So I invited her to this thing, and now she offers me to stay with her. And I'm like, oh, I appreciate that. Again, never assume what I want in my head. I'm not ever going to assume it and put it on her. I go, no, I didn't want to, assume I'm going to stay with you. So I made arrangements to stay at a friend that's also in Brooklyn. So she goes, no, you wouldn't have to do that. You can always stay with me, blah, blah, blah.
Wait.
Right? The conversation then turns, and I'm like, well, I kind of get a little flustered around you, so those are just me throwing my dumbass lines out, right?
Okay.
Right. So it was me throwing out lines to see where this girl's head is, right? So I then say, if I spend the night, would you be wearing this? Okay, and I send a picture of like an old ass grandma in a long fluorescent robe. Right. So there's just this joke. Because she's not wearing granny pajamas at all, right? So she laughs, and she said, "I'd be wearing this." This is when
damn
the picture of her in lingerie.
I'm sure it's a beautiful picture.
right? She sends a picture in lingerie. So now, now you see,
I'm going to Pound Town.
it's not even about Pound Town. It's just that I kind of now know. Instead of me wondering all day, instead of me figuring, is this going to end this way at this night? I know exactly at least what she's open for. That still doesn't mean that it's going to happen. All right?
Yeah, she's open.
Consent
you don't
is
know if
at
you're
the
gonna go in
moment
now.
of time. Consent is always at the moment of time, but at least I know, one, because I had no idea. Like I said, I haven't talked to her in 4 years. I didn't know if she recently had a boyfriend. I didn't know anything, but I just needed to, instead of coming right out and asking, yo, do you have a boyfriend? Is sex going to happen? I had to kind of like drop the hint.
Yeah.
First rate shit.
The hint was in my joke of sending grandma pictures.
Yeah, totally.
And I sent like
That's
a lot.
sweet.
Like I'll send the
I might
pictures
steal
to
that.
IL in them, but I sent like a lot of just old, not attractive women in like nothing but crazy pajamas wrapped up 100%. The opposite of what I would really want her in. So she's just laughing throughout all of that. And that's how I know, all right, now I kind of can stay with her and bring my
In the Hamptons.
blah, 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 blah.
Right.
This wasn't in the Hamptons. The night turned completely different because that didn't even happen. But that's not the topic of the show yet. I don't really have to get into that.
That's fine. See, the interaction, the stories are great. Thank you. That's awesome.
So it's just,
all right.
So for your weekend now, you said something lake. What's this place?
Geneva on the Lake.
Geneva on the Lake. What
it sounds pretty.
It's a 4-star resort. It actually used to be a monastery. And
what town is this in?
You look at the web. It's in Geneva, New York, which is an hour away from Rochester and Syracuse.
Oh, I've been to Geneva. I got family up in Geneva.
That's beautiful up there.
Yeah.
It is. It's wine country, and this is where I'm at now.
So
I work at one of the most amazing hotels around.
Can't you find someone over there in Geneva? I mean, get your...
No, let him rekindle his flame if he wants to. He said he's been doing him in Geneva. He's got his people in Geneva, but we're talking about Jason and Tammy right now.
Yeah, fuck
so let's.
It's a beautiful resort. Yeah. Like I can definitely see why she would appreciate it. I mean, I'm looking at pictures of it. It's breathtaking. Like I would love.
Check out the drone video. The drone video is awesome.
Good video.
Like it's
so
really
Jason,
scroll down. It's the first
but
video.
It
You're gonna love that.
Legitimate. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously.
So Jason, this is how I would approach this weekend coming up. When is it? Is it this weekend? Next weekend?
It's July 22nd. July 22nd.
July 22nd. That's
I got
perfect
some time.
That's perfect time. Here's your month and a half game plan for Jason and Tammy.
Yeah.
You want to do this prom thing. That is the one thing you can leave as a surprise. Okay? Everything else, you got to have her know to a T.
She's got to know you want to F her. And she's got to know.
That conversation you have time to actually have too. You can kind of figure out where ahead. I would just, you guys know each other so long, you can have a reminiscent conversation and just blatantly ask, like, what's the reason we've never had like sex? Like that's, as an adult, that's an easy question now to take back to high school. Like, why haven't we ever had it in high school? And she can say, oh, I was nervous, whatever it was. I was too young, I wasn't ready, whatever it was. Then you can then push it from that answer. Then you can say, well, how come not recently? Right? So now you know, quote unquote, the past why. Mm-hmm. And depending on, it could be, I was never sexually attracted to you, which at which case I would invite a completely different person to this. But you don't have to be an asshole like me.
Yeah.
I think he should. I mean, but if anything, I have the soundtrack in case if you guys wanted that will help establish the movie.
Soundtrack? I'm down for. I'm a DJ. Give it to me. What you got?
What's the soundtrack? Interesting. I'm frightened.
Me too, but I'm excited.
You hear it?
Not at all.
No. My cat just jumped on the counter. She wants to hear it too.
Everything is magic.
It's coming up very low.
Fuck me.
All right, Louis. Joke over.
Yeah.
So now you still got this month. You have this you have this conversation. Hopefully, it goes the quote unquote way of it just didn't happen versus I don't want it to happen. Those are really the only two questions.
Yeah.
Those are really the only two answers that you can get from this, right? It just didn't happen, or I never wanted it to happen. I told you my course if it was I never wanted it to happen, but that would be an asshole move. And if that's not who you are, don't go that route. You can still go your plan, and just have this rekindled time, right? You let her know. Go ahead.
No, I wanted to share something that I think is really important for the mindset. There's someone that lives in Europe right now. I've liked this boy more than I've liked anybody probably in my adult life. And we haven't seen each other we're both recovering. I'm recovering from an illness, whatever. I'm saying if there were ever a situation, a date, let's say, that I would go to see this person, let's say, for the first real date, I would set myself up in he happens to live in a city in Europe that I have friends at. I have plenty of friends. I can stay with these people, but that's how I would set it up. You know what I mean? Yes, I'd be going there to obviously to rendezvous with you, but I'm going to set it up in a way, if it doesn't work out, let's say it doesn't move past that special weekend, I'm not dedicating an entire weekend in Europe to this gentleman. I'm going to make it about him. He can be the center of the attention, but certainly not taking up the full 100. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the point to that is never assuming somebody wants to be with you 100%. Correct. That's what that's really, it's about those assumptions. It's you don't make sexual assumptions. You don't make assumptions that they want to spend the whole time with you this weekend, blah, 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 blah. That's the point of telling ahead of time. So you know this going into it. Where most people fly the seat of their pants.
Someone else if it didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm just getting the feeling that she really isn't that in.
You're right. You're saying that, but we don't have her side.
There's one way to find out.
Yeah,
exactly, and that's why we told them to have the conversation. So after that,
to tell you the truth, if I could jump in real quick, when I told her let's go through this box and crack a bottle of wine, I was just let's just hang out for a couple of days and chill. I wasn't even thinking anything sexual. When I got on the bus back to Geneva, I'm like, whoa, we can redo prom. Wow. Yeah. I know Tammy's still digging me a little bit. Yeah. Okay. We'll see if this works. Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking when I got on the bus. I wasn't thinking it automatically. I just wanted her to come up and hang out with Jason. If anything, I was going to, it was going to be we were just good old buddies. But we went out to dinner when we were in the Bronx to our favorite diner, and it was we were dating again, but we weren't dating again. I'm yeah, there's still a spark there. But the plan wasn't originally, let's fuck when you get up here. It was let's just hang out. But I'm you know what? Okay, you all sexy and grown now. Let's see what's good. That
thought creeped back then. That's why I completely understand it, and that's why I'm saying go with your original plan. Just let her know what the agenda is, and the only surprise is this prom thing, because that's cute. For all of the
I think it is too.
Emotional shit that I have in my I recognize that that's a dope idea, and you can do that. Just everything else she needs to be 100% aware of, and that prom night thing is your one trick up your sleeve, which is just again for the intention of, like you said, to just kind of rekindle what y'all had, memory lane, whatever that is. But you should know going into July already what side of the coin sexually is. It's either she's been sexually attracted to you or she has not. That's not a thing that's kind of a gray area.
Right.
You can have that conversation and then find out stuff that you want to do, and then just build that out. Build that weekend out. Sounds like a dope weekend, dope place. Have fun at the resort. Just always remember never to assume, always find out. And then make the decision.
Have an awesome time without sexual,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And I know we are. Regardless.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Just do that. Just have fun. Enjoy y'all time. And I definitely hope it works out for you, man. Thanks for calling, Jason.
Let us know how it goes.
Yeah.
I will. But listen, if you guys ever need to take a retreat, the three of you, please come to Geneva on the Lake. The place is awesome. And the best bellman in the world will be there in his funky bow tie, okay? Please, if you ever have time, come on out. But thank you for letting me get this time with you guys. I appreciate it so freaking much.
All right.
Let us know. Let us know.
I will.
You have to get the cards on the table. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When she's clear, if you don't know. She could be a little bit shy.
I think she is.
Could be.
All right. This is cool. I'm excited. You guys rock. Thank you. I'm going to go to work and be all excited and chipper and weird.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Great. Sounds like me
I'll
every day.
keep in touch and keep you posted.
Fine.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
Later.
All right. I think that's decent enough.
I know. My phone's being stupid. I can't hang up on you guys.
Oh, okay.
All right. I think I got it.
And boom. All right. Stopping recording now.
Okay. So during this call, he talked about it being long distance, and Yael gave some very practical, tactical advice on how to overcome long distance relationships. And what'd you say? All it takes is money and dedication?
You have to have dedication and money and zero bullshit. I have dated every kosher bris left in the European Union. Those people, there are no Jews left in Europe. Fuck you. I find all of them on their soil and mine. Jesus Christ. Apparently,
Speaking.
I like him French. It's not that I mean to. It's just that's how it usually works. So you need to have reality, clarity, money, and ability to travel if you want it to work. And if you want to have a hookup situation, you got to have a lot of money and a lot of communication if you want to be fucking people on the regular all over the world. You cannot go into something like this with a person thinking something's going to bloom if you're positive walking in the door that it's not.
Okay. I mean, I'm cool with the long distance thing. You're right. It definitely takes money. And it also takes, like, I think security in whatever the relationship is.
Sure.
You can't be one of those clingy. Like, I think I can survive in a long distance relationship. I do not think Louis could.
No. Louis needs attention like a Cocker Spaniel. No.
Damn it. Why do I gotta be a dog?
No, everyone loves Cocker Spaniels. Who the hell doesn't love a Cocker Spaniel? What, he needs attention like a squirrel?
Yes.
He needs the attention of a what?
What would you prefer, Louis?
Twin boys.
He needs the attention of my children,
Yes.
which is a lot of attention.
A lot of freaking attention.
A lot of attention.
I need a woman that's gonna wipe my ass.
I mean, we all
all
strive
but wipe his ass.
Oh, but
every once in a while, but we it seems to be escaping us men.
Sometimes I make a boom boom, and I need some extra hands on deck.
So my thing is, this is far. Like after the call, I just realized, like, I just pulled up the map where this is from the Bronx. This is very far. Like, there's got to be some level of interest from this girl, you think, right?
Well, I don't know, because there's something like this is what I was getting. I mean, it's
a 4.5 hour drive.
Yeah. Well, bus ride, which is longer.
This is what I'm saying. And it's also, okay, so it's between Syracuse and Rochester.
Long, long way.
So to me, here's travel. Syracuse is like, it's damn near the same thing as Buffalo, right? It's close, like that. Buffalo is like 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
8 hours, you could also be in Florida, in Virginia.
Right.
You could be like Florida. If you flew, you could be in California. That's how I look at 8 hours. I don't look at it as
8 hours in a car or a bus to get to you. I will spend it on a plane because that's where major cities are in Europe. They're 8 hours away. There's nothing we can do to control it.
My point is like Louis, you had said she could be using him for like a free vacation, right?
Yeah.
To Geneva, New York.
I'm not trying to shit on the area, but I'm just saying.
Beautiful, by the way. The resort is absolutely beautiful. Like, I get, if you're into that thing, why you would travel. And the resort, really, truly, check it out. It's absolutely gorgeous. But
my
again,
thing is, it's the way my brain works to travel, to be that long and still be in New York, it's upsetting. To me, it's upsetting. It's like, okay, when you travel, especially on the road, you take a road trip, the gratification comes from seeing those welcome to signs, right?
Yep.
When you take that road, when you take that drive down south, you love, like, it's like a landmark. It's like a milestone when you see welcome to Pennsylvania. Well, first, welcome to Jersey. Welcome to Pennsylvania. Welcome to D.C. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? You get that gratification. But driving up north in New York, there is no gratification.
No, you've seen one mountain, you've seen them all.
It's just 4 hours of shitty looking cows.
Trees, outlet malls. I mean, again, if you need good deals on home furnishings on your drive up,
I just think
that's the highlight of the trip.
I think this shows the quote unquote what Yael was talking about. To me, this travel trip is dedication. It's the definition of dedication. It can't be anything else. In my 4 hours and I'm not going. People
are so particular about their time nowadays. I'm serious.
For an old high school friend?
Yeah. You'd got to be dealing with some serious compatible lust.
I literally would.
You want to fuck her, she wants to fuck you. Or old love.
It's one of those two. It's something.
Got to be. It can't be more. It can't be, in my opinion, it can't be something other than that.
Right. I don't see either one. I don't see either one. We only have one side of the story. We get that. But I still don't see either one wasting that amount of time. That is dedication to something. That is they're dedicated to something. Whether it's rekindling, whether it is this we missed an opportunity section, whatever it is, it seems like it's dedicated to something. Because this is not like I'm going to just spend a weekend here because I'm trying to get out of the Bronx.
No. That's why when we did the call with him, I told him straight out, you have got to be brass tacks. Like the time for romance. No one, you know what? You've got to be realistic. As I said on the show, there's a dude in Paris. I have 1 million friends in Paris. I have 3 places, thank God, to stay. Should I want to go spend the weekend in Paris? If it doesn't work out, if it wasn't magical, it wasn't about this person. It was about the interaction with them whilst on my trip that I made about me, not to protect myself. You're an adult. You have to be rational. And if you're getting in the car, getting on a bus, plane, or whatever it is, you need to be real with what is going on. If you want to rekindle with old friends, that's great. You better not be expecting a weekend of getting booty and sex.
I thought that's what rekindling means.
I'm saying you have to make sure that's what this person is trying to do. You got to make sure. If they don't want to fuck you, that 5 hours in the car is a long-ass time to not get laid.
Yeah.
Luckily, this dude has a lot of time before a planned excursion, and I really think they should just have those real conversations. If you're not having constant conversation, take that up a little bit.
The first thing he should really make sure before he even wastes time and money and effort to import this chick to Geneva is to see if she actually feels the same thing for him.
That's why you have those conversations.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. Yeah, I hate you. I hate you have a tone of quote unquote wasting time
because it is. It really is, Keenan. Because honestly, I've been where this kid has been, and he's older than me. I've been where he's. I've been where he's been, and I don't I've gotten to the point where, oh no, okay, moveon.org. There's too many chicks.
You have to. The problem is, I think that he has no idea if this girl is into him romantically or not. Mm-hmm. Prior to calling us, the bottom line is you can't surprise her. If you're redoing prom night and she thinks she's getting on a train to spend several hours to go through a box of old memories with wine with a good buddy, that's very different outcomes. Those are 2 different vibed weekends. One includes sex, one doesn't. He wants the one that includes sex. He needs to let her know that.
Yeah.
But I don't see anybody, my thing is, I don't see anybody without feelings that is unsure doing a weekend like this. I get.
She told him about the air mattress.
Yeah.
I get that one.
Do you really think I'd want to hear from any of our boys overseas about their air mattress? Hell no. I want to hear about...
Yeah, and you could come stand...
Women always... They tend to not be as blunt with whatever they're trying to say, so they don't come across as whatever this culture of shaming, whatever it is. So they don't always be as forward as, yes, I want to sleep in the same bed as you. That doesn't necessarily mean right. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's very, to me, like, okay, Yael, if you move to France and I was coming to France to stay with you for 4 days, our relationship it's defined as platonic already.
Yeah.
So right. If I put you in a air mattress, that makes sense. Exactly. I'm not going to be like, oh, Keenan, come get in bed with us.
Not even the air mattress. Just look at the time. Look at who have you ever spent 4 days, 3 days, 2 days with, and you don't really know what the relationship is. Like when I travel, I've traveled. I have a couple of friends that I would stay with in a couple of cities that are strictly platonic. I got one friend in Chicago. Our friendship is strictly platonic, and I'll come and I can make the assumption because our relationship is defined. The assumption is I'm going to come, I'm going to sleep on the air mattress, and I'm staying for 3 days. Like I'll tell her like how long I'm gonna be in Chicago. I'm coming to visit. Mm-hmm. But the relationship is defined already. There is no gray area of me being in the quote unquote friend zone or not. There's none of that. Right?
No.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is on both sides of this, there's something that they are both missing because it's not defined. And that's what I was saying in the call, that it was a possibility that they were just missing the connection. It was a misconnection or mislove or whatever. There's a possibility to that. And the more I look into this, the more I see the distance in this, the more I see the plan, the more I think it's leaning towards the potential of this misconnection. Because why would you not define? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you move to Europe, I would come and I would say, yo, I'm coming to see this girl, but can I crash with you for 5 days?
That's exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. If I were to go to Europe, right.
That's my point. Theirs is not quote-unquote defined.
Well, this is something that, like, reading between the lines, okay? Thank God I have excellent friends in Paris, London, and Amsterdam. I would always and Germany. I would always, and Belgium. I have friends all over the place that would gladly host me. Yay!
And right? Each one, you know exactly where you stand, right? There's no...
Yes, I'm saying there's no... Right, these are platonic friends. My closest friends in Paris are married to each other.
Even the ones that aren't. There's one, I have a girlfriend, like, I got one in Houston. I guarantee you, yo, unless this chick is married, I guarantee you I can just stay with her in Houston. And it is not a platonic stay. And I know this already. It's not... And we get into why I say I want to always know up front. But what I'm saying is, like, especially with a relationship of 10, 15 years, like this one is, I just know what it is. There's one in Charlotte. I guarantee you, if I was like, yo, I'm coming to Charlotte, this is not a platonic thing. And unless she's married, I know it's not a platonic. That's the only way I know I'm not.
But I'm saying, unless you were going, I'm saying if you were going to feel it out, okay, let's say either a first or second meeting or introduction, if things had not escalated sexual or whatever, and you were not staying with this person, to stay in someone's house who lives overseas or far away, it's either what's it called? It's either you're hooking up for that's the plan, you're staying there for that purpose, et cetera, or it's a dating situation. If you're going for a date where you're testing it out, you know, you might, like, you don't want to commit to the idea of being in this person's house.
Let's try to assume from what we know, what do you think her position is with what we know from her?
Obviously not doggy.
What would be her motive to go 4 hours?
To see if he loves her, to see if there's love there. This is more about love than sex for her. Exactly. He wants this to be about sex. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
That's my point. And that's why I'm saying to Louis, why I think that's a flaw, is he seems to think if something is not going successfully on his timeline, it's a waste of time. And it's
I take no for an answer. The first no I get, it's done.
Louis doesn't push the envelope. That's difference. Fine.
I don't I'm not look, I mean, it's just like, you know, once a chick says no, it's no. I'm not gonna.
No, and that's it.
Right,
and that's it.
She hasn't said no at all.
She broke up with him.
She broke up with him when they were freaking 19.
Yeah,
but he tried to open the door and say, like, ooh, I've got a nice cozy bed, stay on your side, and she's like, boom, air mattress, motherfucker.
That doesn't to break up with somebody at 19 does not mean that you've never heard of someone break up and then get back together?
All the time.
Nope.
That's my point. So that's not a real thing and my point with Louis is the wasted time aspect of it.
It is a waste of time.
It's a very entitled. That's an entitled.
If I'm getting on a bus, in an Uber or an airplane to come see you, I want to fuck you.
Oh, so that's why you don't visit me.
I'm just saying, a bus is the absolutely worst way to transport anyway. Like I guarantee you, there's no luxury buses going up this way. Like it's not like like you are sitting nothing with poor Trump supporters on both sides. Like that's what buses are. When we travel for buses and comedy, it is the worst experience because you just see that there are actually poor white people. You don't see that in New York City.
All I know if I'm crossing the street for a chick, we fucking.
But that's what I'm saying. You have a very entitled outlook to things. Rather than enjoying a process and learning from a process, you have if this doesn't go XYZ, then I've wasted my time. I wasted my money. I wasted my time. I wasted on a date. I did this, that, and the third. And it's an entitlement of rather just enjoying somebody's company and seeing where this relationship goes.
Well, I like to know up front what and we've discussed this before. Like, I want to know what a chick wants. And if it's like, okay, you don't want me, then I'm not gonna push the issue. If I do this, that, and the other thing, and you still feel like, okay, I'm not good enough, then I'm just moving on.
The not pushing the issue is not what I'm focusing on. I'm pinpointing the feeling of that you wasted your time, and everything. Your outlook always goes towards either it's a waste of time or it wasn't. Like that's what your outlook is, rather than seeing where this thing goes and okay, that didn't work. I've learned from this experience and I move forward. I got into a very deep conversation with some random girl in the Hamptons at Memorial Weekend. That we didn't get to go with my exploit. We didn't talk about my exploits, but that was kind of what I'm saying. Like she had a very binary outlook of this world. And it was, if it wasn't the 1 or the 0 that she wanted, then that was bad. And what I'm saying for this and for you is you can't have the entitlement of, if this doesn't happen, I've wasted my time. And you get angry about it. Like you have animosity towards wasting your time. And that's where that vibe comes out early. I don't know if that always is going to affect blah, 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 blah. But what I'm saying is that vibe is in you. And the way this kid, to wrap it up, you see this kid's outlook from the start of the call to even towards the end when we finally kind of hashed it out. He's just optimistic, and either way, he's going to enjoy his weekend. Either way, he's going to enjoy it. He's not going to, even if he calls back or if he writes us, he's not going to say, "Oh, we didn't have sex, so this was a fucking waste." He's not going to say that. That's what Louis would say if he was calling in, though. I fucking waste my time.
Fucking waste. That's exactly how I say it.
He's gonna say, all right, we didn't have sex, but it still was a great time. We had fun, and that's what I'm saying is you should have that same outlook towards all dating. Is let's see what fun we can have. If it doesn't work out, it didn't work out. I learned that I'm not good with this type of person. I learned that this was my misstep. It's always looking at what the missteps were. So next week, we'll actually get into my old flame because I spoke to Yael recently about what I thought was missteps. We put in a plan, a case of me trying to correct my missteps, and that's what you got to do. Sometimes things don't work out. You got to look at whose fault it was and always take control of what your actions were. Anything to wrap up? Anything to promote?
Yes. If I could go first real quick. We now have a YouTube channel. So far we need people to just go on facebook.com/411play. You can find the link there. Also forloveandplay.wordpress.com. I got a roast battle at Comedy Fight Club next Sunday, at Lovecraft Bar. Details will be on my site, Facebook.com/Louis Comedy. And you can always follow my personal podcast, The Crotch Shot Radio Show, which is on iHeartRadio, tunein.com, iTunes, Stitcher, and wherever fine podcasts are heard, which is also the same places where you can find this show for Love and Play. Just do for the number 4, Love and Play, on the iTunes, on the TuneIn, Stitcher, and also iHeartRadio. Take it away, Yael. All right. I'm Keenan. You can always find all my information on www.keenanweaver.com, KENANWEAVER. Thank you. As always, keep loving, keep playing.